How's it going, everyone? And here I come again, being all negative about PlayStation and everything that they do. Oh my god, are you just negative all the time? No, but seriously, to start off with a little bit of positivity, that Death Stranding 2 reveal trailer, remarkable, outstanding, and I know I can't hold every game to the standard of Hideo Kojima, but my goodness, that is how you do video game promotion. That is how you do a video game trailer. Look at the social media discourse around Death Stranding 2 after that trailer came out. That is how you promote a freaking video game. And I get it that it's easier to promote an established IP that's helmed by one of the creative minds in video game history in Hideo Kojima, but again, I'm not holding other games to the standards of Hideo Kojima and Death Stranding 2. It wouldn't be fair, but there's certainly a happy medium that we can get to where you have absolute garbage like the Prince of Persia Lost Crown trailer, Concord's trailer, and then brilliance like Death Stranding 2. That trailer was absolutely phenomenal, and I could not be more excited for the release of the game, which is coming out a little bit earlier than I think a lot of us had expected, June the 26th. However, there are a couple of things that I am upset about as far as the release of this game. Two things in particular, one of them not as big as the other, so let's start off with the more minor complaint. Death Stranding 2 does have fake early access baked into it. Yes, I get it. This is being done by just about every publisher these days. It's a very, very effective way to make money, and it has become, whoever came up with it, it has become one of the most lucrative avenues for these game publishers to make a lot of money. Look at a game like Sparking Zero. That game made an absurd amount of money with the fake early access. It's exactly that. It is not real early access. The game is literally done. It's ready to go. It's a way that, if you really look at it, it's what a lot of publishers try to do in terms of monetizing their games. What is happening is you want to try to monetize, and if you can monetize things that used to be available for free in the past. However, things that were available just with your game in the past, it's easy in a lot of regards to spot them out when they're trying to sell you it. For example, New Game Plus with Infinite Wealth. New Game Plus, when it got baked into Infinite Wealth's Deluxe Edition, they got absolutely crapped on for it. This fake early access gimmick, what it is you are paying extra to play the game on release day. That used to be available for free. Playing a game on release day was just, accepted. However, this is why marketing is so important. They're kind of finessing you into thinking you're getting this early access, so you're paying more. Really, you're just paying more to play the game on the release day, which was available for free in the past. For just buying a video game, you didn't have to be delayed to play the game. Nonetheless, that is with the Deluxe Edition, and that is going to be $79.99, so it's only $10 more. What's funny is Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater is also doing the early access gimmick. Now, with the Deluxe Edition, you'll also get some goodies. The pre-order bonus, the machine gun, the battle skeleton, gold battle boost skeleton gold, the Baka skeleton gold, and then a couple of other in-game items will be included as well. That is for the Digital Deluxe Edition. Let me reiterate, digital only for that. There will be no Deluxe Edition physically. You will have the $70 standard edition. What will kind of be available physically, and this is my second point, and what annoys me so much more, is the Collector's Edition. The cost of this Collector's Edition physically is $230. And with this, you get a lot of cool bonuses, and obviously this is for the hardest of hardcore fans. You get a 15-inch statue, art cards, you get some in-game items, a Dollman figurine, a letter from Hideo Kojima, as well as a collector's box. All of that for $230, and rounded out by a digital copy of the game. Now, this is insanity. It is a collector's edition, and Death Stranding 2 is not the first game from Sony that's done this. I remember being incredibly excited for Horizon Forbidden West and really wanting to pick up the Regala edition, and that version totally pushed me away because it's a digital-only copy of the game. But this is another instance of a literal collector's edition having a digital copy of the game, and even if we are not moving into the all-digital world overnight, for those of you that are petrified by it, for those of you wondering if it's ever gonna come, let it be known that it is surely coming. It is a step-by-step process, but you look at things like collector's editions now having digital copies of the game baked into it. That would have never been the case in the past. You look at some major publishers not doing a physical game release. Microsoft with Forza Horizon 5 on PlayStation. We'll see if Indiana Jones and, you know, Gears Collection and all those games have physical releases. Alan Wake 2 did not have a physical release right out the gate. Epic Games is not a small publisher. They could have absolutely made a physical release right out the gate. Now, ultimately, it did get a physical release, but look at how things are shifting. The PlayStation 5 Pro, a $700 console that doesn't have a disk drive available right out the gate. These are all things that are done to push you into digital gaming, and obviously from a digital gaming standpoint, they make a lot more money on the back end. And you look at it even from the lens of the deluxe edition being available only digitally, so if you want to play the game a little bit earlier, or quote-unquote earlier, fake early, you have to buy the game digitally. We are moving into a digital world. I know some people are in denial, but it is happening. These are the signs, and I don't know if gaming is something you can ever take full digital. Everything is digital, but I do think 10 to 15 years from now, things are gonna be a lot more different than they are now, and it is a question as far as different regions and the accessibility to different internet connection and everything like that with how big these games are. I totally get that argument, but if you're just gonna live in denial about us moving to this digital world, like, I don't like it. I like the idea of us having as many options available in how we get our games, but also on top of that, a collector's edition that's $230 and that's a digital only copy, that's just absolutely whack. A lot of people are okay with digital gaming. PC gaming is huge. I love PC gaming, and it's great, but when you're talking about having options, having that physical game option is great, and on top of that, a $230 collector's edition with a digital download, like, no. I'm not down with that. I will never be down with that. That is just absolutely lame, and I think people are so excited for this game that this is something that a lot of collectors would want to get, and you're getting a digital copy of the game. Let it also be known, as far as the early access gimmick goes, I do believe this is the first PlayStation published game that has a single-player narrative focus with the early access gimmick. Concord did have the early access gimmick. It was 72 hours of early access for the deluxe edition, but a lot of people don't remember that. But as far as these titles from Sony, this is the first one, and this will be very interesting. What does that mean for Ghosts of Yotei? Lost Soul Aside doesn't have it, but Death Stranding 2 being the first major title, and I had questioned it that at some point Sony was gonna be looking at doing that. Most publishers, I would have to imagine, have at least thought about the early access gimmick, and if Death Stranding 2, again, that's a PlayStation published game. PlayStation is making the decisions when it comes to, like, gimmicks like that to increase revenue. I could totally see Ghosts of Yotei, Soros, their upcoming games. You know, it's just something we see across the board, the fake early access. I've been talking about it for years and years, that, you know, it's gonna be something that I think every publisher is gonna start doing that. Ubisoft is actually not doing it with AC Shadows, which is great, but Ubisoft is in a position where they desperately need to rebuild goodwill and trust with their audience, so that's why they're not doing the early access gimmick. Trust me, if they had a lot of goodwill, if Assassin's Creed was, if they were firing at all cylinders, that game would have the early access gimmick. That game would have a $130 gold edition. That game would be, I don't want to say it'd be digital only, but you get all the idea that I'm bringing up. Incredibly excited about Death Stranding 2, don't get me wrong, and this isn't an issue with the game development itself. I think the game is going to turn out to be fantastic. Are you kidding me? That trailer was one of the most brilliant trailers I think I've ever seen in my life, watching video game trailers, and it was tremendous, and I'm sure the game is going to be fantastic. This is more of the shift in gaming. The early access gimmick I think is absolutely lame, but it's something that I kind of have to accept. Do I have to accept $230 collector's editions with digital only copies of games being included? I guess I do. I mean, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna change my opinion that it's absolutely lame though, but that'll do it for me. The game looks fantastic. I'm sure it's gonna be a contender for Game of the Year, and yeah, I'm super excited for it. It's just these elements I'm not crazy about. And what does that mean for a Yotei? Is that gonna have the early access gimmick as well? I would have to imagine that that's gonna be the case. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.